The 1556 Shaanxi earthquake was one of the deadliest earthquakes in recorded history. It occurred in the Shaanxi province of China on January 23, 1556. During the Ming Dynasty, the earthquake had an estimated magnitude of 8.0 on the Richter scale, and it is believed to have caused the deaths of approximately 830,000 people, which was nearly 60% of the population at that time. The earthquake was caused by a rupture along the Haiyuan Fault, which runs through the area. The devastation caused by the earthquake was amplified by the fact that the buildings in the area were primarily made of wood and earth, which made them more vulnerable to collapse. The earthquake also triggered landslides, which further contributed to the death toll. The earthquake was felt across a vast area, and aftershocks continued for several months. The 1556 Shaanxi earthquake had significant social, economic, and political implications. The high death toll resulted in a shortage of labor, which disrupted agricultural production and led to widespread famine. Additionally, the earthquake caused significant damage to infrastructure, which hindered transportation and trade. The 2010 Haiti earthquake occurred on January 12, 2010, and had a magnitude of 7.0 on the Richter scale. The earthquake struck the capital city of Port-au-Prince, causing significant damage to buildings and infrastructure. The earthquake resulted in an estimated 316 deaths and left over 1 million people homeless. The earthquake was caused by a rupture along the Enriquillo Plant and Garden fault system, which runs through Haiti. The country is located near the intersection of two tectonic plates, which makes it vulnerable to earthquakes. The earthquake was one of the most devastating natural disasters to ever hit the country, which was already struggling with poverty, political instability, and a weak infrastructure. The earthquake had significant international repercussions, with several countries and international organizations providing aid to Haiti. However, the recovery efforts were hindered by a lack of resources, corruption, and bureaucratic delays. The earthquake also highlighted the need for better disaster preparedness and infrastructure in vulnerable areas. The 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami occurred on December 26, 2004, and had a magnitude of 9.1 on the Richter scale. The earthquake was caused by a rupture along the boundary of the Indian and Australian tectonic plates, which created one of the largest seismic events in history. The earthquake resulted in a tsunami, which caused widespread devastation across several countries in the region. The tsunami resulted in an estimated 227,898 deaths, with Indonesia being one of the hardest hit countries. The earthquake and tsunami caused significant damage to infrastructure, with many buildings and roads being destroyed. The disaster also had significant economic and environmental impacts, with several countries experiencing disruptions to trade, fishing, and tourism. The 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami had significant implications for disaster preparedness and response, with many countries implementing new measures to prevent and mitigate the impacts of future disasters. The disaster also highlighted the need for greater international cooperation and aid to vulnerable regions. The 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami occurred on March 11, 2011, and had a magnitude of 9.0 on the Richter scale. The earthquake struck off the coast of Japan, causing significant damage to buildings, infrastructure, and nuclear facilities. The earthquake also triggered a tsunami, which caused widespread devastation along the Japanese coast, resulting in over 15,000 deaths and leaving thousands more injured and homeless. The earthquake was caused by a rupture along the boundary of the Pacific and North American tectonic plates. The tsunami that followed was as high as 40 meters in some areas and caused widespread damage to coastal communities. The disaster also caused significant damage to nuclear power plants, which resulted in the release of radioactive materials. The 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami had significant social, economic, and political implications. The disaster highlighted the need for better disaster preparedness and infrastructure, and led to changes in Japan's disaster response policies. The disaster also had significant international implications, with many countries providing aid and support to Japan in the aftermath of the earthquake. The 2005 Kashmir earthquake occurred on October 8, 2005, and had a magnitude of 7.6 on the Richter scale. The earthquake struck the Himalayan region of Kashmir, which is shared by India and Pakistan. The earthquake resulted in an estimated 86,000 deaths, with the majority of the casualties occurring in Pakistan. The earthquake was caused by a rupture along the boundary of the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates. The earthquake caused significant damage to buildings, infrastructure, and transportation, with many roads and bridges being destroyed. The earthquake also triggered landslides, which made the rescue efforts more difficult. The 2005 Kashmir earthquake had significant social, economic, and political implications. The earthquake resulted in a humanitarian crisis, with many people left homeless and without access to basic necessities. The disaster also highlighted the need for better disaster preparedness and infrastructure in the region. Additionally, the earthquake had significant political implications, with tensions between India and Pakistan affecting the relief efforts. In conclusion, the earthquakes mentioned above were some of the most devastating natural disasters in history. These disasters resulted in significant loss of life, economic and environmental impacts, and highlighted the need for better disaster preparedness and infrastructure. The lessons learned from these disasters have contributed to improvements in disaster response policies and practices, and highlight the importance of investing in disaster preparedness and mitigation measures to reduce the impacts of future disasters. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like and comment if you like the video.